Hi, and welcome back to Grief Inspired. My name is Catherine McNulty, and what I try to do with Grief Inspired is give you the education and the knowledge you need to help you through the grief process. And as part of that, I really want to include some very practical tools and strategies that you can use to help ease your pain and help you walk through the grief process, because it's definitely challenging, and if you are grieving now, then you definitely know that. So I came outside because what I wanted to talk about today was creativity and grief. And I really get creative when I come outside. I love being outdoors. I purposefully live in San Diego because I want to be outdoors. I love the sunshine. I love flowers. And my 6-year-old, his name is Mason, so he had a 6-year-old birthday party just a couple weeks ago, and his Aunt Emily gave him this really nice artist set, and it had paints and it had canvases, and he told me, "I want you to paint one." And I said, "Okay, well, what do you want me to paint?" And he said, "Well, think about something you love. Think about how you feel." And so I thought that was really interesting for him to be able to know that through his art, we're really expressing our emotions, because that's what he does when he's working with art. And so I made this, and it's just a little painting, and it's just a little canvas, and it took me probably 30 minutes, but it was remarkably healing to get through it. And I think it represents very much like how I was feeling at the time. I've been very, very happy lately, and the colors are vibrant and they express that, and the sun's out, and I feel love from everybody around me and love for myself. And so, it's really a representation of the emotions that I was expressing through the art. I've also taken some art classes at other places, and there were times when the artwork that I created was certainly not vibrant and colorful like this. There were times when I used dark colors, and really to express the dark emotions that I had, and the storminess, right? We talk about the storms of grief, right? Grief can be really challenging in terms of the feelings that it creates, which are oftentimes, depression or dark emotions or anger, and what does that look like, on an art canvas? So I've been to some different art therapy classes. They're really useful. Typically what they'll do there is get you to think about your loved one, think about the person that you've lost, tap into your emotions a little bit, what you loved about them, what you miss about them, and then you take that and then you channel it into a picture, and you'll find that based on your emotions, you'll choose colors and textures and different size brushes based on how you're feeling, like the strokes that you use as you paint. There's lots of other mediums that you can use in terms of, a lot of people will work with clay. I love paints personally. And then the other thing, I was thinking back when I was preparing for this video, and I realized that when I was deepest in grief, I started using my camera. So I got really interested in photography, and I'm not a photographer by any means, but what I liked about the photography was that I could look at the world in a different perspective. And for me, after I lost my son Jackson, the world changed. It wasn't the same as it was when he was alive. And I kind of liked looking through the camera lens, and I started to notice things that had some beauty, that had some color, that, that maybe I didn't notice before. So what I did was I took photographs and then I put them on cards. And that was my outlet to express how I was feeling. So I did some that was just artwork, and again, it was just things that were in my environment as I walked around. I did a lot that were plants and cactuses, because I had had a lot of that in my yard, and I love looking at those. And then I wanted to show you this one, because this one is wine. So I still have a love of wine. I probably drink more than I should right now. But anyways, I just love the artwork, love the ability to take photos and then create something out of it. And I didn't know why I was doing it at the time. I just did it. I was sort of drawn to it. And I really enjoyed it, and I found it to be very therapeutic. So I want to encourage you to see if there's something that you can do on the creative side of things that actually might help you express your emotions. You know, there's times when I talk all the time about how important I think it is to journal, to be able to let your grief out, to put the emotions and the thoughts that you're feeling into words and get them down on paper so that they're not just rambling around in your head, because that can make us all nuts and keep us awake and really be difficult. So getting the words out onto the page is always therapeutic. But there's times when you can't get the words out, you can't express the emotions that you're experiencing through words, and so that's when moving to an art medium can really be useful. So I want to encourage that. I'd love to know if there's anything that you've done on the creative side of things that you found to be really helpful. Please share it in the comments below so that other people can get ideas of what might be really useful for them. Because if you found it to be useful for you, then absolutely somebody else could find it useful. And I have this wonderful quote from Eileen Miller, and she was a mother who had a daughter who had autism. And the autism prevented her from being able to verbalize and communicate the way you and I do. And so what this girl did was she started to use pictures and her drawings to really communicate for her. And the quote says this: "Art can permeate the very deepest part of us where no words exist." And that's from the girl who spoke with pictures. So being able to get your emotions out on an art canvas or through clay or another way is definitely going to be beneficial. So I want to encourage you to do that. I talk to lots of people as they're grieving as well. Some of the things that are more directly related to the loss could be making a memory box or a shadow box with pictures or some things that were their favorite things that you want to keep together in a box, and decorating that however it is that you want to decorate it, whether you're painting it or decoupaging it or putting buttons on it, and however it is that you want to decorate it. I think that that's really healing, and everybody that I've talked to who has gone through that process and has done a photo album or a memory box or something to that effect has really, it's really made them feel better, and it's eased their pain. And that's what we're all about here, is finding ways to get your grief out, help you to ease your pain. So I hope you'll consider doing something creative. Again, let me know in the comments what you intend to do, or maybe set a plan. Well, I want to do this. Put that in the comments, and we'll try to hold you accountable. And I'll ask you, did you do this? Or like I said, anything that you've already done. So I'm really excited about this one. I want to encourage you to get creative to help you through your grief. And remember to subscribe to my channel. It's at Grief Inspired on YouTube. And do not forget that you are not alone, that there's hope, that you will get through this grief. And if there's anything at all that I can do to support you, please let me know. So if you like this video, please share it. If there's other videos that you'd like to see, please leave that in the comments below, and I'm more than happy to create a video that's just for you. So my name's Catherine McNulty, and I want to help you be grief inspired too. Have a great day today.